Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to a new video. In this video we're gonna look at 3 looks that I created with this beautiful Trick or Treat palette. In case you're new here, my name is Sasha and I love playing with indie makeup and especially colorful eyeshadows, so if that's something that interests you, keep on watching and you can consider subscribing. So, I've played with this beautiful palette. I'm gonna show you close-ups in the b-roll, but yeah, I've tried every single shade, some of them even twice, and I created 3 looks and then also 1 look. On Monday I've posted a video using both of these Halloween palettes, and on Wednesday I've posted 3 look video with the little ghost, so I'm gonna link both of these videos in the little corner. And today we're gonna look at the Trick or Treat. So I really love this palette, especially the greens, both the mattes and the shimmers. They're absolutely wonderful. I love the shade Witch's Brew that goes from a very neony poisonous green to like kind of like a blue based turquoisey green. I love this inner corner highlight, the Magic Potion, that's kind of like a white with a little bit of green and blue, which I think will actually look really nice with the Little Ghost palette as well. Both of these shades that I've mentioned, I think you can use very nicely with the other palette. So if you have both, you can kind of use them together. Also, I like that the Trick or Treat palette technically has 3 inner corner highlights. So you have this really white based one for the green looks, and then you have these 2 yellowy orangey ones that are good for the rest of the palette. And you can also use them for the Little Ghost palette because you have kind of like a warm toned row. So for the warm tones you can use the orangey yellows in the other palette, and for the blues and the purples you can use the shade Magic Potion. Yes, Magic Potion as an inner corner highlight, because this only has this kind of like a satiny highlight if you want that. So I would definitely recommend both of them. I like the color story more of this for like more creative looks, and I love the Trick or Treat for more everyday looks. I think I'm gonna get a lot of uses out of that because I like oranges, I like greens. I don't wear reds as often, but I'll try. And I think this shade Trick or Treat would be really nice with the shade Magic from the Little Ghost. I think that would look really pretty together. So yeah, I might not really get a lot of uses out of this kind of bone color, which is also a matte shade, because you can like you can use it to smoke out your other matte shade, but I know Angelica uses it in the inner corner, and I've tried one look where I use this in my inner corner, but I don't think I'm gonna use it as often because it's just not really how I do my makeup, but that's just personal preference, obviously. But so far I really like these shades. The shade Trick or Treat and Crypt Keeper are slightly more, these two are slightly more chunkier than in the other shades in the other palette. They're not like hard to work with, they're not messy, but since I've tried the Little Ghost first, I was surprised how extremely smooth the shimmers are, and there's no chunkiness, there's no fallout, there's no like glitter particles or anything annoying. This, maybe I just used the brush a little bit too harshly, but there was a little bit of a fallout in the pen, and I had a little bit of that shade under my eyes as well, so it's not anything crazy. Actually most of shimmers in my collection do that, but I was really surprised that the Little Ghost palette didn't, I didn't have the same problem with the Little Ghost palette, so that's just worth mentioning in my opinion. They're still beautiful and they're still absolutely wonderful, and I think they're still better than other shimmers that I have. It's just these two might be like this a little bit harder to work with than all the other shimmers in this collection. Love the mattes, they're so buttery smooth. It's such a pleasure to use them, and I really like both of these, and I love the lip products as well. I'm definitely gonna keep using these palettes, and I will post other looks with these on my Instagram, and probably on Sunday. I'm gonna try to post it on Sunday at least. I'm gonna create a Halloween look inspired by these two palettes. Or, well, I'm gonna try. I haven't filmed it yet, so maybe something's gonna go completely wrong and I'll change my mind, but on Sunday I will release a new video and I will use these palettes as well. It's gonna be probably the last full video with these, but I'm gonna feature them a lot on my Instagram and on my TikTok. So if you want to see like daily get ready with me videos, I post there every day. At least I try every day. So, and I have written down like 8 different type of like looks that I could do using both of these, and also using them with the original Hella palette and with other Oden's eye palettes in my collection. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would be very happy to see you there as well. I will also show you the comparison swatches between this palette and the Merry Christmas palette. So this is the Merry Christmas palette. I'm gonna show you the inside, how similar they are. The greens are kind of similar, especially some of the shades, and maybe some of the oranges. I'm gonna try to show you like that. It's not the same color story, but it's definitely like similar color story. So if you already own the Merry Christmas palette, and especially if you own it mostly for the oranges and greens, maybe you don't need this new collection. There's no actual like dupes, but there's similarities. So it's up to you to decide. I think this one goes a little bit more, there's a couple more cool toned options, and there's obviously the pinks and the reds, and then there's the gold one, which this palette doesn't have. And also in the Merry Christmas you have black shade, which here you only have this like darkened brown. So it really depends on what you like. I actually prefer the Trick or Treat because I just feel like this is a little bit nicer. This for me, like the oranges are a little bit too neutral for me, though I love this shimmer in the Merry Christmas palette. But yeah, it's up to you to decide, and I definitely like the formula here a little bit more. In the Merry Christmas palette there were a couple like chunkier shades, like this gold was kind of chunky and very messy. Then you have this shade, I think it's Snowman, yes, Snowman, which is not that messy, but it has like chunkier formula. So in my opinion, this collection, both of these palettes are a lot better than the ones from previous year. And if you like these color stories, definitely go and grab them. They're beautiful, and the cover art obviously is just stunning. I know it glows in the dark as well, which I don't know how to show you because I don't have anything to actually film that with. I think on my camera it would just be a mess, but absolutely stunning. And as I said, I will use it all the time now. So that's it for the intro, and now let's show you first this look and then the other 2 looks that I've created with this palette. So for the final look with the Trick or Treat palette, we're gonna play with the green shades because honestly I bought this palette especially for the greens, so I thought it could be the true test whether this palette is good or not. I've already have this Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Spectre on my lips. It's kind of like a mauve color. I might change that in the for the final like whole look, but right now I thought it could be really nice, and I really like the formula of the Shine glosses, so I just wanted something on my lips. I've already primed my eyelids and Now we're gonna start with the shade Cauldron, which is this deep mossy green. And so far I've had absolutely no problem with this palette or the other one as well. I think they're both absolutely stunning and beautiful, and I really like the looks that I was able to create. And I think they're quite versatile. I'll probably use them with the other palettes as well, like with the Christmas palette and with the original Hella palette and others, because I like mixing my palettes and not really relying on one color story or like one color scheme. But I really like the shades here, and I think they will be perfect for me to kind of add into my collection, because most of these I feel like I don't really have. Or it's the shades that I really like to use, so I don't mind having them in multiples. Okay, so I did kind of more like a winged shape, because I will actually do wings today, or like winged liner. At least that's the plan. Maybe I'll change my mind, but so far I really want to do a winged look, and I like to kind of start the shape with the eyeshadow. Now I need to take this shade Poison, because it's the most beautiful green in the world. Honestly, I could have a full palette just of this green and I would be super happy, because I just love shades like these and I always go through them super quickly because they're just too pretty and I love them and I can't live without them. So I'm putting it in the inner half of the crease as always. I usually put like the darker shade in the outer half and then something lighter here and then just something even darker in the inner corner, in the outer corner. So, and I'm kind of blending the edges as well and still trying to kind of like bring it outward and create the wing shape. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I just kind of want to have that ready for when I'll actually apply the wing. And I really like how these two blend together. It's really nice. Nice blend. And it kind of really matches my eye color. Now I'm gonna take the shade Goblin, which is this kind of blackened brown, and we're gonna intensify the outer corner to just have a little bit more depth there, like so. Oh, this is really like soft matte shade. I really like the consistency of this one. And we're just gonna blend it with the green, with the darker green, like so. Okay, so I really like the result. It's slightly patchy, like right at the tip here, but I think it's mostly my lid because I've been plucking my eyebrows there, so it might be just that. Otherwise, really love the result. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing on the lower lash line, and then I'll come back and we'll do the shimmers. Okay, now for the shimmer, we're gonna start with Witch's Brew, and we're gonna put that in the first half of the lid. This one seems more like a toppery shade. It's very smooth, very like, it doesn't really have any like particles. It looks super finely milled. So I think it's more like a toppery shade. Ooh, but it's very pigmented actually. And it's actually quite sparkly. I was a little afraid that it could be too, it might be like satiny, because it looks in the pan because in the pan it looks a little bit more like a satin shade and not too bright. So I was a little scared in the beginning, but it seems to be absolutely fine. Maybe it was just like the first like layer, the top layer, because I haven't swatched this palette yet. I will swatch it after this final look. So you know, sometimes the shimmers can look a little bit different when they're completely new and untouched, but then once you swatch it or you know use it for the first time, they will show a little bit more of how they actually look like. And this is beautiful. This is genuinely kind of like a poison ivy type of green, and you could leave it just like that and like blend it, but I'm actually gonna also use the shade Crypt Keeper because it's just beautiful shade. I've already used it once, I think, in the absolutely first look that I've created with this palette. And I really like this shade, so I want to use it in the outer corner because it's a little bit darker, so it will be easier to kind of blend it into the matte shades. And these two blend together effortlessly, like there's no problem with blending them. You don't actually even have to try. They just kind of do it on their own. Now for the last shade we're gonna use this Magic Potion, which is stunning shade. It looks to be kind of like more blue based green. And I love that. So we're gonna, ooh, yes. It's more like a minty green. Very iridescent, very kind of light. But it looks pretty sparkly and very, very pretty. I like that this palette has a bit more inner corner highlight options because the other one only has like that white kind of satiny shade, and then you could use some of the mattes, but it doesn't really have a shimmer that you can use. Maybe some of the maybe one of the lighter purple shimmers, but I like when it's more white based. So I think I'm gonna use these two palettes together a lot because I feel like this shade especially would be really nice with the blues and the purples. It could bring like a really nice detail to the look. So if you have both, I think you can use them like that. If you only have the little ghost palette and you also like more sparkly highlighter in your inner corner, then maybe you're gonna have to use other palettes for that. But I really like this. This is really pretty. I'm just gonna finish the eye look and then I'll come back and show you the finished result. Okay, so this is the final look with the Trick or Treat palette. I absolutely love this look. I think it's so much fun. It's very like poison ivy type of thing. So for the rest of my face, so I've put on the Maybelinne Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 110, and I've mixed it with the under 20 BB cream to get the right shade. Then I used the Revolution Fast Base Blush in the shade Peach, and this Colourpop Light Sticks. This is the Darcy one. It's like a light greeny highlighter that I really love. I've used the Solmona gel liner, and this one is in the shade 06. And again, I've used the Falsies Surreal from Maybelline as a mascara. And I used this dark black shade called Black Hole from the Solmane 2 palette to create the wing. And yeah, that's the entire look done. I really love the way this turned out. I'm gonna show you a little bit of a closer look. And the shade Witch's Brew actually shifts kind of blue, so it's like a very neon-y poisonous green to going to blue, which I really like. I think that's a really nice flip and it fits with the inner corner. And I've actually decided to switch my lips, so I've switched to the Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Quicksand, just because I couldn't find the other one. I've probably put it somewhere. So this is the first, well, the last look for me, but the first look for you, and now we can go to the other two looks that I've created with this palette. Hey guys, so today we're gonna play with the Trick or Treat palette. This is my first look using this palette, if we don't count the Monday video. And I wanna play with these these two mattes, maybe with this one, and I'm thinking for shimmers we could do the dark green one and then the kind of yellowy orangey one. We'll see. I'm not completely sure what I want to do. And I'm wearing the little scarf, and I think in the beginning we're gonna put on the lipstick, the matte one in the shade Swamp Fog, because I haven't tried this one yet. And it's kind of orangey, bricky color. Kind of like nude, peachy. I'm not really sure how to describe this. But it has like a brownie base, but then on the lips it kind of turns a little bit peachy with that little bit of a brownie tone to it. I'm not really sure. Here's like a close-up. It's a nice color. I feel like it's a really nice autumn color, and I like that this one is a little bit more like on the orangey side, and then the shadow creature is a little bit on the reddish, like purpley, well, not purpley, but like wine side, you know. Again, super comfortable, love this formula, and I really like this shade. I think this is gonna be really nice match for me, and I think I will wear it a lot with the Trick or Treat palette. So I'm gonna wear the I'm gonna use the Beauty Bay primer as always. So we're gonna start with the shade Howl, which is this kind of like pukey, or at least in the pan it looks kind of like a pukey mustardy color, kind of mustardy. And I'm trying to go like around the imprints so that I don't completely mess up the pattern, but I mean it will get ruined eventually anyways, because that just happens when you use a palette. But I'm trying to keep the little illustrations there for as long as I can. With that being said, they're like quite raised, so I think the little imprints will stay for a while. I know that with the Gourmand Girls, like the Nightshade and the Haunted palette, the imprints aren't as raised, or like, you know, it's just like very shallow. So I've used the palette like 11 times and there's barely any traces of the imprints, even though I like really tried to keep them there. And I'm using this shade kind of all over the crease area and up into the brows, since it's more like a warmer color. I don't feel like it's gonna blend into the skin color a little bit better. And also just it's gonna make everything seems a little bit more believable, since I have a self tanner on and the color of the primer is a little bit whiter, like lighter than my skin tone, so this will make it a little bit more blended and a little bit more believable, I guess. I really love the color selection in this palette. It's a little bit more like a neutral palette, but it also has really nice colors for autumn in general, so I will definitely get a lot of uses out of this. Now we're gonna use the shade Vampire Fangs, which is this beautiful, beautiful kind of like brownish purple. I don't understand why there's spider imprint when it's called Vampire Fangs, but doesn't matter. I'm glad that there aren't imprints in the shimmer shades, because that literally never lasts, so that's a good thing. And I'm gonna use it in the outer corner. We're just gonna do like a basic smoky eye, or like the basic shape that I always do. And then I'm gonna be a little bit more creative with the other two looks. So now for the shimmers, so I've repeated the same thing on the lower lash line, and now for the shimmers we're gonna start with the darker one, with the Crypt Keeper, which is a beautiful deep foresty green with like gold speckles in it. It's absolutely stunning. I want to use that in the outer half of the lid. Oh my god, this is so pretty. This shade is gorgeous. This is definitely gonna be my new like favorite shade in my collection. I can already feel that. So I haven't noticed any major fallout with this one, though it is a little bit chunkier than the rest of the formulas, but it's really beautiful. And this shade kind of reminds me one of the darker shimmer shades in the Earth palette, but this one is more green, like it's a little bit lighter and more brighter and sparklier, but it's kind of similar to that one, so I feel like this could be really nice to use with the Earth palette. Now we're gonna take the shade Full Moon, which is this orangey yellow, and we're gonna use that in the first half of the lid. I just feel like that could be really pretty. And I haven't actually seen like reviews of these palettes. I've only seen Angelica's video and Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. So far, because I wanted to know, obviously, and I wanted to see Angelica's video because I wanted to know what she thinks and why she, like, what was her vision and stuff. But I didn't want to see too many videos because I wanted to create looks that would be just my own, and usually when you see somebody else's look, you can forget that you saw it, but then you happen to create the same thing. So I just wanted to make sure that I'll create my own, and maybe they're gonna be similar to, other looks, but that's just kind of, when you do monochromatic looks, obviously it's gonna be the same for everyone, but I usually like to most of the time I go like monochromatic in the matte department, and then the shimmers I try to go a little like crazy and do something maybe not completely expected. I don't know. That's just my way of using the palettes. And this eyeshadow, the full moon, is very like metallic, but it's nice formula. It's not too thick, it's not too like chunky or anything. It's actually super smooth. It almost feels like a topper on the brush and on the lid, but it has a lot of pigment and such a nice sparkle. And now I'm gonna take another brush. Also, I want to buy the cinch brushes, but they're sold out now, and I haven't had time up until now to actually or the finances to be able to buy them, but I want to get them soon, as Angelica will restock them. So now we're gonna go in the with the shade Wicked, because I don't really know when else should I use it. I usually don't use such a light shades. I know Angelica put it there as an inner corner highlight. I usually don't use matte inner corner highlights, but for Angie we're gonna do it today. So this seems to be kind of like a beigey white. It's definitely quite pigmented, and it's not that I have something against matte inner corner. I just feel like for my face shape it doesn't, I don't know, I feel like my eyes look slightly weird whenever I do this, but I still think it's like a cool addition to the look, and it's something slightly different that you don't see often. Okay, so this is the finished look. I've just put on the Falsies Surreal mascara from Maybelline, and I've put this Oden's Eye Gel Liner from the Solmane collection, and this is the 005. It's kind of like a paler green. It's not too bright, and I felt like that could go with this look that has just like pops of green, but it's a little bit more nude, or like a little bit more neutral, I guess, especially in the crease and with the inner corner highlight. The shade Wicked isn't as bright as I initially thought it's gonna be, so this might be also good for like blending out the edges when you're gonna use some of the deeper browns and deeper like greens. This might be nice to like you know, soften the edges if you're not really good at blending and you may get like a little bit of a patchiness or like a lines there. This can help to kind of diffuse it and help to make it a little bit more smoky, so that's really good. I don't know, maybe it's also like this is kind of my, like the shade of the skin, so maybe that's also why it's not really all that obvious. It's just slightly lighter because I have the complexion of a Casper the Ghost. But yeah, I love the shimmers. I hope you can see how extremely sparkly and shiny and beautiful this is. It's just so pretty, and I love these shades. They're definitely gonna be like extremely used in no time, because I love these shades. And the lip is really pretty. I think this is gonna be my new favorite like neutral lip, especially now for this season, because it's just such a nice color. I feel like it fits well with the fall color story and or like the color scheme, and the formula is amazing. It's just so like a cloud lips, and it's just so nice. So yeah, that's it for this look, and let's go to the final look of this video. Hey guys, so today we're gonna play again with the Trick or Treat palette, and we're gonna create our last look of this video. And I was thinking I would focus on the reds and oranges, so we're gonna play with these three shades, then this shade, and the shade Cemetery probably, and we'll see from there where we're gonna go. So I've already primed my eyelids with the Beauty Bay primer, and we're gonna start with the shade Candy Apple, which is this beautiful autumn red color. And I really like this tone. It's very like apple color, very autumny. We're gonna put this in the outer half of the crease. Kind of like this. And I like that it stays red. It doesn't turn purple or pink. It's red, which is sometimes really hard. And I feel like especially with the Merry Christmas palette from last year, the red kind of looked kind of like pinky magenta on the lids, so once you like blended it out. So I'm really happy that this one is actually a proper red. Okay, so this was really quick. Now we're gonna take this beautiful orange shade called Jack-o'-lantern, which is stunning orange, like it looks like a very vibrant orange. And we're gonna put it in the inner half of the crease. Oh, that's so pretty. It's a little bit more neon-y and more orange than the shade. I think it's called Candy Corn in the Trick or Treat palette. This one is a little bit more neon-y and more like a reddish orange. Now we're gonna take the shade Cemetery and we're gonna take it to the outer corner. Okay, so I was able to deepen it up a little bit, and now I've put the NYX glitter primer, and we're gonna first start with the shade Trick or Treat on a flat brush, and we're gonna put it in the outer half of the lid. And now I'm going with the shade Deadly, which looks like a beautiful kind of coppery orange, and it feels like it feels really smooth in the pan and kind of like a toppery shade. So we'll see how much pigment we're gonna, oh yeah, there's definitely enough pigment in this one. And it's kind of like a goldy coppery color. It actually goes really well with the matte shade, the Jack-o'-lantern. I feel like it's really nice combination. Now we're gonna go with the Mummy Skirts in the inner corner. It looks absolutely beautiful. I've already used it once in the, I think it was the Monday video, and I really liked this shade. Okay, so this is the finished look with the Trick or Treat palette. I've added some like these little nail art accessories. It's like a little leaves and like a maple leaf. One is like red going to orange and the other is kind of like a orange going to gold. So I'm gonna try to show you a little bit of a closer look at them, and hopefully you can see that they kind of sparkle in different colors and it all kind of ties the whole look together. Then on my lips, I used the matte Shadow Creature, the lipstick, and I think I'm gonna top it off with the Shine lip gloss, and this is in the shade Quicksand that I think I've used in the Monday video. I'm sorry if the application is a little weird. I'm not the best person at putting on lipstick. I don't have the best lips for that, but hopefully hopefully you like this look. Then also I used the Oden's eye gel liner in the shade 003. I used my Falsies Surreal mascara from Maybelline, and I used these two cheek products from She Glam. So this is a blush in the shade Float On because it's orange, and then the multi-chrome highlighter in the shade Flying Comet. I wanted to use the Solar Flare, but I couldn't find it, so I just used this one. I think it still looks nice, and it like shines gold, so it's fine. And yeah, I think that's everything I've used for the... Oh yeah, I also used this like a plate of different face jewels. This is also from Shein. Just like the little maple leaves, and I just put it in the inner corner. It's not really even because my nose is completely crooked, so I'm sorry if it looks uneven, but I've tried my best. And yeah, I really like this look. This is really nice autumny color story. I feel like this palette speaks more autumn than Halloween. I mean, yes, there are like the pumpkin-y shades, and I feel like I would need for this to go a bit darker for me to really see the Halloween in this. But I think together with the little ghost, it's very nice Halloween-y color story. Because you have like the greens with the purples and the yellows and stuff. So I think together they're really nice Halloween palettes, but on its own this is like just a regular autumny color story. So even if you're not a fan of Halloween and you just like autumn colors, I think you're still gonna have a lot of good time with this palette. And yeah, I'm gonna show you a little bit of a closer look, and let me know. This is since the look, like the base is kind of basic, kind of easy, I thought that these jewels and stuff could make it a little bit more interesting. And this is like a idea for you if you don't want to draw anything or do anything crazy, you can just stick a couple like nail accessories on and you can still create a really fun look. So yeah, that's it. And now let's just wrap up this video. Okay, so that's everything for this video. Let me know which look was your favorite. Let me know if you've picked any of these palettes or anything from the Halloween collection. And let me also know if you have the original Hella palette and if you would want me to maybe create a look using Hella, the original one, with these two. Because I think that could be really nice, and I actually have a couple looks in mind. So let me know if you want to see that. And if you want to see the review of the Little Ghost, it should be pinned up here, as well as one of the looks, as well as the look that I've created with both of them. So if that interests you, it's gonna be pinned up there. And I hope you have a great day. Hope you're enjoying October and autumn, and I will be happy to see you in my next video. So have a great day and bye.